Welcome all. In this video, we will continue the conditional statements. This is a part 2 video, second video, where I am going to continue with the conditional statements. In previous video, we saw types of statements in Python. We learned empty statement, simple statement, compound statement. Thereafter, we came to know about the statement flow of control. There we learned sequentially program can be written, selection program can be written, iterative program can be written. Under selection control or selection programming, we learn if statements in Python, where I have shown you the program with if statement as well as if else statement. So this video will teach you if elif statement. If elif statement. So let's check the theory what the if elif statement does. Sometimes we need to check another condition in case the test condition of if evaluate to false. Suppose when we are executing some condition, when we are testing a condition, if the condition become false, so we used to directly go for otherwise case, that is else. In this case, you notice if the condition is true, if the condition is true, then it evaluates this part. Otherwise, this is otherwise, it is evaluating this part. But in this case, what it is doing, if the condition is true, then it is fine, it is going with this one. Otherwise, if the condition is not true, then in otherwise case, it is checking one more condition. It is checking one more condition. Fine. In that case, if this condition gets satisfied, then it is checking all this, it is printing all this or going through this or executing this particular block. Otherwise, if this also not get satisfied, this also not get true, then it will go with this particular statements. So let's see an example better you can understand. Here I have given positive, negative and 0. So if the value of n is greater than 0, it is going with positive. Suppose the value is not more than 0. So in that case, elif case, it will come here where it is checking whether it is less than 0 or not. If it is less than 0, because first condition is not satisfied. If the first condition is satisfied, then the program is over. It won't come to this part. If the first condition is not evaluating true, then it will come to the second statement, and the second we need to write with elif keyword. Elif n less than 0. If it is satisfied this case, then it will execute negative. Otherwise means this is the otherwise of this as well as this. So it is printing 0. So here the theory was given. Sometimes we need to check another condition in case the test condition of if evaluates to false. When the first condition go for false, in that case we might go with another condition, another checking, another testing. So in that situation we have to use if elif statement. Fine. Syntax all of you have seen, example also roughly we have seen. Let's go to the editor to write a program for this. So this is the py editor, Python program editor, where I am writing a program. For example, I am writing here n equal to I'm writing here n equal to input. Now I am inputting the number from user from keyboard, that is enter a number. I gave a statement here, enter a number. Then I am giving the if statement. If n is greater than 0, then the print, what it will print? N comma is a positive number, is a positive number. I just printed here positive number. I am just copying this line. Else or elif, we used to say elif. So elif, what we have to do? Now n less than 0, n is less than 0. It is not greater than 0, it is less than 0. So in that case, what it will do? Now it is a negative number. Okay, fine. Then else, otherwise case. So what we need to do here? It is a 0, is a 0. So in that case, don't give this n, it does not look good. Just print is a 0. Okay, or the inputted number is 0. The inputted number is 0. Let compute, let execute, running the module, saving. Okay, asking of number, I am giving here 0. So it is showing error. Why? Because here see, the greater than symbol is not supported between str and int. So in that case, what we have to do, please check. So it was showing error. So why? Because the input function accept by default an integer, an string variable or string value, sorry. So for that we need to write here int function to convert that string to integer. Whatever we input here is accepting by string, and string never can be used with greater than symbol and all. So that because of we have to convert it into int by writing the int function. So the number will get converted from string type to int type and will get stored in n. Then the performance, the whatever we wrote, it will perform. It's supposed to perform. Let's check. Running the module. Okay, saving. Now it is asking of number. I am giving 23. It is showing positive number. Let execute again the program. Going to the program and run the module. Fine. Now I am giving -4, printing negative number. -4 is a negative number. Let go back and check. Running the program. Fine. Let give 0. The inputted number is 0. Hope all of you understood the concept of if conditional. So in this case, it is trying to execute the first part. If it executes, then fine. It will stop here only by executing all this. Otherwise case, it will come to the second part. If this become true, then this will get executed and well done. Means all the things get completed. Otherwise case, if this also not get satisfied, in this case, it will come with this. Otherwise case. Fine. So ultimately, you are going to get an answer. Fine. With this if condition. In this case, you will get the answer in either or way. For example, if the first is getting executed, the first block of statement is getting executed. If the second block to be executed, if the first is not getting executed and it gets satisfied with the second block, then second block of statement is getting executed. Otherwise, if first is not getting true, second also is not getting true, then it is otherwise case it is going and executing the third statement, that is else, which is written. Now the next block of statements we will learn, that is nested if statement. So this will be the last part for our if conditional structure. So nested if else statement is what? Sometimes we need to check another condition in case the test condition of if evaluates either true or false. So sometimes we need to check another condition. Sometimes if the first condition get true, we might ask to check the second condition as well. We might ask to get the second condition as well. So in this case, you check the syntax. If the first is getting true, thereafter again immediately it is going with another question, another conditional. If that is getting true, then this is getting executed. So it means these two lines will get executed if this become true and this become true. Then if this become true and this become false, then this will get executed. If this become false and this become true, then this is getting executed. Here I forget to give the colon, so this will get executed. So let's check here. The syntax is given, the example is given. If the average mark is more than 60 and you are scoring more than 80 in math, then you can take admission in science. So for taking admission in science, there are two criteria, two conditions. One, your overall average mark has to be more than 60, as well as the math mark you should get more than 80. In math should be more than 80. If your average mark is more than 60, but you didn't get more than 60 in math, in that case you will take admission in commerce. Now this part you checked. If you didn't score your average mark more than 60, if you didn't score more than 60 your average mark, then you can simply take admission in arts. In this case, it won't go with this particular part. Fine, it won't check for math. If you are not, your average mark is not more than 60, in that case this math mark won't get checked. So let's go to the editor and try practically this one, how this concept is working. Now we will write a program here to check that if nested if statement. Okay, the same program what is given here. Let's try. So go to program editor. Let's do a program. So I am taking here a variable like av for average, that is int input, sorry, input, enter your average mark. Okay, you have to input your average mark here. Thereafter what you have to input the math mark. So math equal to, let's copy this. Okay, let's make a VG math. So math, this is your math mark. So your math mark or mark in math, as you wish, you just give. So we got the average mark and math mark. Now let's write if your AVG mark is greater than, how much we want to take. Let's take 70 suppose. Your average is more than 70. Fine. In that case, again one more condition it is asking. Your math mark is more than 60. You score more than 60 or more than 80 in math. Your average aggregate mark should be more than 70, as well as your math mark in math has to be more than 80. So you can take admission in math. Sorry, science. So we can write here, you can take admission in science stream it means. Fine, let's copy. So now otherwise case, otherwise in the sense what, otherwise here is what, you are scoring more than 70 in your aggregate mark, based on aggregate mark, but your math mark is not more than 80. So in that case we will take commerce, we will give him commerce the choice. Fine. So now let's write else for this one. This is the else of first statement, that is average more than 70. You didn't score, your average mark is not more than 70. Fine. So in that case what we will do, now we can simply say you that you take admission in arts. Okay, let's check how it is working. Run module, it will ask to save, you save the file. Invalid it is saying. So mat is a variable which is not allowing, so let's make it math. It might be a keyword, so that's why it is not working. So let's take here math. Yes, it is not working, invalid syntax it is saying. So let's check. I think the bracket I missed out. Yeah, bracket I missed out, sorry. Two bracket has to be there, that because of it is saying. Run module. Yes, the program is asking now your average mark. I gave here my average mark is 87, and math I scored 89. So you can take admission in science, it is showing. Okay, let's try with others. Let's try with other concept. So module. Now my average mark is 67, but in math I scored 90. So in that case what I can take? Arts, because the second it is not executing only. The math mark it is not executing. You scored math in math nicely, but it is not taking care of, because every average aggregate has to be the first choice, or you have to score there more. Now let's try with the other one. So running the module, now we are providing here the average mark as 89, but in math suppose you scored 56, that is below your condition given. So in this case it is saying that you can take admission in science stream. Okay, this is an example we saw for nested if else statement. So in this case, where is the nested concept? Where is the nested concept? This is the nested if of this if. So this is our outer if. Fine. And inside this if, we kept this if as a nested if. Now student, let's go with another example of nested if else statement. We will check one more example of this nested if statement. Fine. So in this case, the question, let me write first in the program that write a Python program to input any three numbers and find out largest among them. Okay, this is how the question is. Let's take ABC as the variable. So a equal to int of input. We can make here enter first number. Okay, let's copy this for B as well as for C. So see, by default it is giving the indent to us. So if you required, we can keep it as well as we can remove it if you don't require. So A, B, C, I took three variables. Let's just specify here as second number and third number. Fine, we got three numbers as input. Now let's try if A greater than B. This is the first condition. In this case, let's go to with the nested one. After A get compared with B, then if it is winning, so in this case it is winning, so we have to write here A greater than what? C. A greater than C. So A is greater than B as well as greater than C. So who will be greater? Then print A is largest. We are just printing here, giving the statement as A is largest. Now otherwise, this is otherwise for whom? For this one. So in this case, if it is otherwise, so who become largest? C become largest. So we can specify here in proper index. We have to give within proper index, you remember. So it is not coming properly. Yes, it's coming now. So C is largest. Okay. So now let's go with the other part, like the first one's else. So this I can copy. So I will have two nested lists. So in this case, who can compare with C? B can compare with C. B can compare with C. Why? Because A get compared with B and it is not winning. This statement is not executing. So in otherwise case, this will get executed. So in this case, B will be compared with C, whether they are largest or not. If it is okay, then B will be largest. Otherwise, C will be largest. Fine. So let's check how it is working. Running the module, it is showing invalid. So B, the variable, it is saying invalid. So let's check why. Because of the B, the variable, it is saying, yeah, the bracket again I forget to give students, that because of. So run module. Okay. Now it is asking of first number, providing 45, 43, 23. So 45 is largest. So let's go with another input, another sequence of input. When you are running the program, you should try with all the sequence of input. 7 is largest. So let's try another sequence. Suppose 5, 7 and 3. So everything is working fine and our program is working fine. So this is the second example which I gave you for nested if else. So how come it is nested? This is a if else conditional before, sorry, under this, and this is the if conditional, if else conditional under this else. So this is a nested and this is also a nested. So we are having two nested if conditional under the main conditional structure.